smile without a reason why. Love as if you were a child. Smile no matter what they tell you. Don't listen to a word they say, because life is beautiful that way.
Let us talk how you fell in love with Italy.
Oh, well, it was one of those wonderful sort of, I guess, not an accident, but just one of those things that came together in a very beautiful way. I was asked in 2012 to contribute to a project that was designed by Valeriano Bottini, which was a festival of pieces based on the volcanic lakes around the Lazio area. And Valeriano's idea was to have 5 different pieces from 5 continents, so all around the world. And I happened to be one of those that was asked to provide a piece from our side of the world in New Zealand. So I wrote a piece for guitar and flute, which was premiered in 2012, early in 2012, and played in various areas around Lazio. And there I got to meet Valeriano and Massimiliano and the whole team there, and we had an absolutely wonderful time. And I instantly fell in love with Italy. I felt very much at home there. And it was, again, one of those very fortuitous moments where I had very, very recently finished recording my opera, The Juniper Passion. And I brought over very, very new CDs. In fact, my producer dropped me over 10 CDs while I was at the airport waiting to go to Italy. That's how new they were. And I mentioned this project or this opera to Valeriano, and that it was based on the Battle of Monte Cassino. And he was instantly excited about it, and we started talking right there and then about the possibility of doing it in Italy. Mm-hmm. Now, Valeriano very generously took me to Cassino while we were on that trip, where we met with Daniele Grossi, who also was very interested right from the word go. And then and there we said, okay, well, why don't we try and do this in 2013? And that's what happened. So I came in early 2013 to do some background work and so on, and then we came again, of course, in June to present the opera.
Yeah, and what is your particular connection to the heritage of our area?
Oh, well, that's an interesting one. My librettist, John Davies, his father was at the Battle of Monte Cassino. He lived through that battle, fortunately, and so John had a very strong feeling about the place and wanted to write a work that honoured his father and all the other people that were involved in there, and also the Italians who John's father said were so welcoming and kind to him. And John felt a real need to write about this. And I have always been very, well, interested is probably not the right word, but I've always found it very fascinating, interesting to explore what happened in these world wars. Why, what makes people so, on one hand, so violent and barbaric, and on the other hand, courageous and generous. And so the Juniper Passion was a perfect vehicle for us to express what we wanted to in music and text.
Mm-hmm. And also the scenario where you could perform was quite unique.
Oh, absolutely. Look, that was just so exciting, and it's such a massive privilege for us to premiere the opera basically on site at the amphitheatre on the side of Monte Cassino. It was an enormous, one of the greatest thrills of my life. An unforgettable experience. It was just such an amazing time we had.
Yeah. I can just confirm it was a unique experience, talented young artists, and also very nice lighting, and the choreography. It was very interesting, and then there we could have the chance to talk a little bit more, and there I was able to convince you or ask you to beg you to write this song to commemorate, to use during the commemoration of the 70th. What was your guideline?
Well, first of all, it didn't take much convincing. I was very keen, very eager to contribute in some way. So when you mentioned this project, I was, straight away, I felt very honoured to be asked, and I was very keen to participate in it. So you mentioned to me at the time that you knew this wonderful violinist, Jenny Bay, who might be interested in contributing. So I was very taken with the idea, your idea of making this quite a global project where, me in New Zealand writing the piece, the violinist a Korean violinist living in London.
Yes.
And then Laura De Santis, who did the soprano from Italy, of course, and Alessandro,
Minci.
Minci.
Yes.
Is it
Minci? Classical
Minci.
guitar.
Classical guitarist from Italy.
Yes.
And so it was very much a global project, yes. And I was very attracted to this idea because I think it contributes to this idea of being able to work together across nationalities, across nations, and so on. So I think that fed very well into this whole idea that peace is such an important, it's vital for the world to survive.
Yes.
I think, and this can be proved through the arts, through music, and I think that's one of the strong points of this project is to be able to gather people from all around the world who very generously give their time and their talent to contribute to a project that is based on peace.
Yes, and we do not need we need to remember also the kind persons who helped us to record the pieces, as in England, your friend, as here in Italy, my friend Damiano Paravano, and yourself over there, of doing so much, and this is very important.
Well, that's absolutely right, Michele. I mean, everybody has been so generous. I contacted my friend from the University of West London, David Osborne, who immediately was interested and opened his doors for Jenny to record over there.
Yes.
And of course, in Italy, we had Damiano, who
yes.
recorded the guitar, and Laura.
Yes.
And, we all did this all free of charge.
Yes.
Because we're contributing to something that we think is important.
Yes.
And of course you. I
yes.
mean, it was because of you, Michele, that this
yes.
project got off the ground in the first place. And it's your sort of your energy and your belief
yes.
in these sorts of things that enable these sorts of projects to happen.
Yes.
And also Valeriano Bottini, who gives his all to these sorts of projects. He was the one that suggested the texts that we ended up using.
Yes.
A beautiful text. And the title says it all. The future is not war. And for me, I think it's a perfect title. And
yes.
thanks to Valeriano.
Let's remember the name of this poem also in Italian. L'avvenire non è la guerra. What is your next project?
Well, I've been commissioned by the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra to write a symphony for the World War I commemorations. In 2015 is the centenary of the Battle of Gallipoli, where, I don't know whether people are aware, a massive amount of New Zealand and Australian soldiers were killed in that battle. It was a terrible disaster, actually. And also it will be reflecting on the battles in France and Belgium. My great-grandfather, Arthur Major, was actually killed on the Third Battle of Passchendaele in the trenches on the 31st of August 1917. So my plan, or what I've been doing, is collecting letters to and from soldiers and their families in New Zealand and England. I'm looking for Turkish ones, and German and Australian. And those letters will be included as part of a narration in this symphony, and it will also have a soprano solo part. So that will be premiered next year in 2015. I think it's April or May of next year. So that I'm very busy writing that. It's quite a big undertaking, but it's a very exciting project, and it's a real honour for me to have been asked to write it. So it's sort of, in a way, it continues with my interest in the world wars. It's something that is a big part of my life, I think, in reflecting on these things. So,
when are we going to have the privilege of having you back in Italy?
Look, I was hoping to come back this year, McCarthy. I'm one way or another. I've said to myself last year, I must get back to Italy at least once a year. Well, this year it's not going to happen, unfortunately, for me. So sometime next year, I'm very, very keen to come back. In fact, my plan is I would really like to come over and stay and live there for around a year, if possible. I can't get enough of the place. It's fantastic. I just love it so much.
Okay. Thank you very much for all what you have done, and
it's a pleasure. Thank you, McCady, for your energy and your ideas and your tenacity.